We're going to begin our class today laying down and back supported onto the floor, legs bent, feet hip width parallel, hands on your tummy, paying attention to the breath. Reach your arms now overhead and have the palms facing up and give yourself a big stretch. Oh. Then relaxing the arms so that the armpits can broaden. Wiggle your head a little bit from side to side, letting go of tension out of your neck, shoulders. And then stretch your arms out, your legs out to straight and really reach out through the length of your body. Hug your right knee into your chest and soften at the thigh and the front of the hip. In fact, just wobble your leg a little bit from side to side. Relax your shoulders, face, throat. Take your right hand on your right knee and take the right knee across to the left side. Just let your body roll over in that direction. And then roll back, knee to the right side. So try to keep the left side anchored here. So we start to stretch across the front of the hips, front of the pelvis. Good. And then over to the left side. Good. And then back to the right side. Keep the left side anchored so that you start to stretch across the front of the hip. Good. And one more, rolling. Good. Hold the knee, the right knee out to the right side. Good. And hold behind the thigh or hold your leg in so you can start to straighten that leg. Now, it might not go all the way to straight, but we want to feel that intense feeling of stretch and everything else relax. Good. And then relax, bend the leg back in and come back to center. Stretch that leg out to straight. Good. And hug your left knee in. We want to try and be as relaxed as we can in the front of the thigh, the front of the hip joint, and wobble your leg from side to side. Noticing what might feel a little resistant in that joint. Oh, good. Now take your left hand on your left knee and your right arm out along the floor, and we're going to roll over to the right side with that left knee. Let the body roll. Good. And then we're going to roll back the other way, left knee towards the floor on the left, but keep the right side anchored so that you can feel, you start to stretch across the front of the pelvis. You'll feel that in the left hip. Good. And then across to the right side, just letting it roll. And then back to the first side. Nice big stretch across the front of the hip. Good. And last one. Rolling the left knee to the right side. And then back to the left. Nice big stretch across the front of the hip again. Good. And then come back to center. Oh no, I forgot. Take the left leg out to the left again. Good. And you're going to hold somewhere behind the thigh or wherever you can hold so that you can just start to straighten that leg and feel that intense feeling of stretch. Good, but without feeling intense in the rest of the body. The face is relaxed, throat is relaxed. Mm. Good, and then release that side. So more even. Let's stretch out the arms again overhead, palms facing up. Good, press your lower back down to the floor. Lift up just your right leg off the floor and hover it just a couple of centimeters off the floor. Good. Relax that leg down, pick up your left leg, press your lower back into the floor, hover the left leg just off the floor. Good, and lower back down. Press your back down. Now you can either do one leg at a time again, or imagine you could lift your heels off the floor. Now they might not come up, but do the work that would lift them. So press your lower back, squeeze the front core towards your spine. Good, if you're doing one leg at a time, flipping over. Keep lifting, keep imagining you could lift your legs up off the floor. Good, and then relaxing the core of the body. Just let the legs roll out. Let the body be relaxed and observe the breath. Good, and then we're going to repeat that. You can see it's a difficult movement, but we put the effort in to opening up those neuro pathways. All right, we're going to press the lower back. We're going to keep everything else relaxed and really engage the core of the body, and imagine that you could lift your heels up off the floor, even if they don't lift. We're going to hover them just above the floor. Keep pressing the lower back. Good. And then releasing. Nice work. Bring your knees into bend, bring your arms in, and hug your knees into. Nice deep breath here. Happy baby pose now to relax those core muscles. So take the knees out wide, knees are bent. Feel the breath deeply into the belly. Relax your neck, your face, your throat. Good. And take your arms on the inside of your legs, and you're trying to reach for your ankles or your feet, or hold where it makes sense. And knees are moving towards the floor, toes overhead. Good. And then release. And we're going to roll over or cross your feet at your ankles and come up into an all fours position. Fingers out nice and wide, press the fingerprints. And just gentle rocking forward and back. Start off with smaller movements, and as your body starts to find its suppleness, making bigger movements. So maybe when you come forward, you can drop your hips and lift the breastbone. Maybe when you reach back, you can take your hips towards your heels a little further. Good. So as you find the suppleness of your spine, your joint, we equate that to the breath. We find that the body is mobile, easeful. Tension where we need tension, and ease where we need ease. Good. Now we're going to tuck the toes under and take your hips back towards your heels and hold that position so you can stretch your toes. You can even walk your knees back a little bit, give the toes a bigger stretch. But walk the hands forward, keep the shoulders wide. Try to move your shoulder blades towards your back waist and the top of your head forward. Enjoy the flow of the breath. Mm. Good. We're going to bring the elbows down onto the floor. Bring the torso forward so your shoulders are over your elbows. Stretch your fingers, thumbs wide. We're going to hover the knees just off the floor and lift the breastbone. Good. And as you exhale, you're going to arch your spine up to the ceiling. And then inhale, look forward, lift the breastbone. Find the suppleness again along the spine. The strength in the legs and arms. The core of the body. Tuned into the flow of the breath. Nice work. And then completely relax. Relax your feet now. Take your hands where they're comfortable for child's pose. And let your shoulders and arms relax. Enjoying being aware of the breath. And then reaching your arms out forward of Virasana. And we're going to lift up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. So knees up off the floor. Your feet are about hip width, they're parallel. Your hands are about shoulder width. Feel your fingers long and straight and your toes long and straight. Let your head just hang down. And with the flow of each breath, feel the spine lengthen as the hips lift. The spine relax into the front of the torso as the chest opens. The back of the legs increase in stretch and intensity as the heels press and the kneecaps lift. And in each breath, there is potential to reach a little further, to relax a little more, to find a little more ease in the posture. Good. We're going to start to rock gently forward and back. You might not make it all the way to a plank position where the hips are in a line with the shoulders and the heels, but in that direction. Then we press the heels down and then lift the hips up, back to downward facing dog pose. So towards a plank position where you look up, lift the breastbone. Downward facing dog pose. Keep pressing the fingerprints, the base of the index fingers. Elbows are just a little bit bent. Good, and then bring the knees down to the floor. Release your arms into child's pose, so you're resting your hands. and your wrists and your shoulders. Good, and then inhale. And lifting your torso, we're going to come up to standing. Do that in a way that feels wide, otherwise you can try and follow along. Tuck the toes under, rolling into a squat position and pressing into the heels to stand up from there. Look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Nice work. We're going to come towards the front of the mat. You can have your chair handy if you like that for balance. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Give yourself a little bit of room to find the suppleness of your spine. Let's see if you can wave your spine. Find again the flow of your breath. Notice where the movement of the spine might feel awkward. Maybe the intense feeling in the legs feels like it's an impediment. But as much as you can, find ease, suppleness in the movement of the spine. Good. Now we're going to hold a position where your spine feels good. So you might have to lift your hands up higher. Maybe you're not particularly forward bent. Wherever it feels good for your back. Lifting the core of the body, front core of the body. Draw the shoulder blades back, look forward. Good. And then play around with that stretch in the legs a little bit. So you might get them straighter or bring your body weight forward. So we're balancing here the ease of the spine and looking for that intense feeling in the back of the leg, in the stretch. Good, and then bend your knees and inhale and come here. And look up, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. We're going to do forward bend again, but feeling in your back now and recalling how good it feels to keep the bones of the spine reaching forward so that the spine is longer. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, find your forward bend with a long and easeful spine. Great. Now, maybe your hands are on your legs, maybe your hands are on the floor. And we're going to start to swing the torso a little bit from side to side. So you can use your hands to help you walk from side to side. You can start to feel the movement and the stretch of the lower back, the hips, right across the muscle fibers. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. All right, we're going to reach as far as you can to, I'm going to the left side. And in that case, I'm going to stretch my right arm as far as I can. I'll try and keep the right hip back. Good, and then back to center. And so now I'm going to the right side. I'm trying to keep my left hip back. And then I'm reaching my left hand as far as I can. Good, and then back to center. Nice work. We're going to roll up. Now, as we roll up, we're going to take the arms up. We're going to look up, and you're going to lift your left foot off the floor. You might just lift up onto your left tiptoe. Good, or you might lift the leg up. And then Tadasana. Good. We're going to take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. As you lift your arms and you look up, lift your right foot off the floor, maybe just up onto your right toe. Maybe you can lift the leg up. And then release. Nice. We're going to take the arms behind us now. Interlock your fingers, or you can hold your forearms or your elbows, or even prayer position if you like. Making that back bend shape to make your forward bend. Uttanasana, with the arms bound behind. We're going to lift up the sit bone, top of the back of the legs, lift the kneecaps, the quadriceps. Let your head just shake around a little bit and your neck lengthen. Enjoying the flow. Good, and then bend your knees and inhale and rolling up. Arms up. Good. Bring your hands together, press them in front of your heart. Step your right foot back and tip your body, or just make a crease at the front of the left hip so that you're tipping your torso forward a little. Right tiptoes can stay on the floor here, and your chair might be there for balance if you need it. All right, otherwise you can lift your right leg up off the floor, tip forward a little more. We're going to bend that standing leg. Okay, you can make this a little heavier, which equates to more difficult, by taking the arms out from the chest, straight out from the shoulders. All right, we're going to lift the left hip and swing the belly button to the left side. Come back to center. Lift the right hip, swing the belly button to the right side. Come back to center. Lift the left hip, swing the belly button to the left side. Good, come back to center. And then release. Feet under the hips, standing in your mountain pose. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Look up, feel the body lengthen. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Press them. Step your left foot back. So we're just tipping or bending that, creasing that front hip crease so that the torso tips forward. So a straight line, leg and torso. You can keep your tiptoes on the floor, or you can lift up a little higher. Bend your front leg. Good, take the arms out from the shoulders if you need that extra leverage. Lift your left hip. And looking to the left. Drop the left hip, looking the belly button to the right. Lift the left hip, belly button goes left. And dropping the left hip and belly button goes right. Good. Come back to center and release. Nice work. Feet underneath the hips, parallel. Press the hand. Tadasana. Roll the upper arms out. Arms in. Feel the length of the spine, the space around your heart. Good. We're going to take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands pressed together in front of the heart. Similar, we're going to take the right leg back. You're on your tiptoes. But just check it out. See if you can lift those toes and take the torso forward. And then lift up back to toes touching the floor. We're trying to keep the torso and the leg in line with each other. And testing out your range of movement here. So it's going to feel strong in those stabilizing muscles of the left hip. So you only go as far forward as your body needs. You test that strength. Keep it strong. Feel the core of the body. engage. Good, one more. Nice work. Release that side. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, lengthen the sides of the waist. Good. Bring the palms of the hands together. Press the hands together in front of the heart. Right on time. There's my garbage truck. Take the left foot back. Okay. And see how you go. Trying to keep the torso and the leg in line. And we're just tipping forward and back. Tipping forward and lifting up. Feel what's going on to keep you stable. Foot, leg, hip, and the core of the body. Long and easeful spine. Good, and last one. And lifting up. We'll take the arms up, look up. Good, and as you exhale, Uttanasana. And in your Uttanasana, find your easeful spine. Nice stretch for your legs. Just let your head hang down, your shoulders relax, your arms relax. Feeling that satisfying flow of breath. Good. We're going to put the hands on the support, so chair or floor. Step your left foot back, and this will be for Trikonasana. So we're going to put the right hand on the leg somewhere so we can lift the torso. Good. And then see if you can find the front of your torso, your hips, sort of parallel to that long edge of the mat. Roll your left hip back, your left rib back. Lengthen both sides of the waist. We're going to press into the feet and lift the kneecaps, so strong straight legs here. Good. Take your left arm up so you're in your full posture. Good. Find the breath. You're going to look for opportunities to lengthen the spine and find a little more ease in your body here. To find where it feels good to stretch, where you need to back off a little bit. Find a little more ease for the neck. Good work. And then swing your left arm to the front of your mat, so you're facing back to that short front. And turn your left toes forward. Good. And we're going to step forward, lift up, and balance on the right foot. The left leg will come in front. Not quite. Onto your tiptoes, or foot lifting, or holding your knee, or holding your foot. But find ease in your balance through strong awareness of the core. Good, and then releasing that side. Take your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then Uttanasana, feeling easeful in your spine. Even though you're bending forward, and even though that can be a challenging movement. Checking in that your shoulders are relaxed, your neck is relaxed. Place your hands on support. Take your right foot back for Trikonasana. Plant the heel. Good. Place your left hand onto your left leg so you can lift up. Place your right hand onto it. Roll the right hip back, the right ribs back. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Find the planting of the feet. The strength in the legs as you lift your kneecaps. Lifting the heart towards the ceiling. Good. Take your right arm up. That feels right in the shoulder. And then look for opportunities to find ease. to feel more stable, to feel stronger, to lengthen, to find space. Good, and then swing your right arm all the way to the front of the mat. Turn your back foot so you're facing forward, parallel leg. We're going to step forward, lift up, and balance onto the left leg. You might have your right tiptoes at the floor. You can lift that leg, you can hold your knee. But ultimately, we're looking for a feeling of ease, even though what we're doing can be challenging and difficult. And equanimity for the posture. Enjoying the satisfying breath. Good, and then releasing. We're going to sit down now. In whatever way feels appropriate for your body. I'm going to try and sit without using my hands. Simple sitting position. So cross-legged if that works for your leg. They can be out. Semi-straight if that feels good. For Sukhasana twist, we're going to turn to the left side and take your right hand to your left leg. Lengthen your spine and feel in your body the feeling of stopping, of limit, where the body just doesn't seem to be able to turn anymore. Then we'll bring our focus to the breath. Understanding the role of the diaphragm. When you breathe in, the diaphragm descends into the belly cavity, the ribs expand. When you breathe out, feel the ribs contract, feel the diaphragm lift into the rib cavity or the lung cavity, and feel how you can turn. There's a whole lot of movement there that the mind was not perceiving. When we find the breath, the mind and the body in this moment together, observe what is possible. Feel the potential. Good. Now we're going to hold that lovely twist. Take your left hand from behind you and reach it up by your left ear. You're going to lengthen your right ribs over your right thigh. And we're just going to go as far as you need to explore. Some people have a lot of movement here. You can head your right shoulder towards the floor in front of the right knee, and we keep opening the heart towards the ceiling. Good, and then inhale and coming up. And change the cross of the legs if they're crossed. Or wiggle out your knees a little bit. And we'll turn to the right side, left hand, right knee. Observing the limb. And then helping out the mind with the breath. So that you can find your potential. Good. We're going to take the right arm up by the right ear. Really reach. And then lengthen the left reach over the left thigh. Just as far as you need to reach. Open the heart towards the ceiling. Enjoying the flow of the breath. Understanding ease in your body. Good, and then in. We're going to lay down. Legs bent, feet hip width parallel. Palms face down to the floor. Press into your feet and feel powerful in your legs. Squeeze the buttock muscles towards each other to lift the spine. So there's an energetic lift happening from the musculature of the leg and buttock. So you're up now onto the bones between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. We're holding. Good, and then releasing. When you lay your spine down, try and press your lower back into the floor for a moment. And then completely relax the muscular work in the legs as well. Good. Now you're going to repeat that one. If you want to practice your shoulder stand, preparing for shoulder stand, instead of repeating what we just did, you use a little bit of momentum to lift your hips up, and you can put your hands underneath your hips. So you can see my torso is not straight up. We're just preparing a little bit towards shoulder stand. So then you're in control of how high you lift, what kind of stretch you feel in the middle back, the upper back. If you're regularly practicing shoulder stand, you can go up straighter. Just make sure it feels okay on your neck. Good. And then you're going to release. So we'll come to, when you roll down, try not to lift your head off the floor. Try and come down with a modicum of control. All right, we'll come back to center of the mat. Bring the arms out wide from the shoulders, inside edges of the feet, together, knees together. We're going to lift the hips, take them left and knees go right. And we've been working on this, just being passive in this posture, accepting the shape of the posture, trying to relax as much as you can your shoulders, your neck. Good. And then noticing the different feeling when you really bring your attention to the core of the body. You try to hover your knees and your feet just off the floor. Squeeze the pelvic floor. And then using that core awareness to lift your legs and swap to the second side. On the second side, try that passive approach at first, just giving in to the shape. Even though there may be some tension, seeing if you can find that and observe. Good. And then really aware of the core of the body, so you can hover your feet and your knees, feeling strong without being tense in your upper body, your neck, shoulders. Good. And use the tension in the core to lift the legs. Work back to center. Hug your knees in and rock a little from side to side. So some people can stay for the relaxation. You're going to lay your legs out straight if that's you. If you need to finish your practice, take a moment to let your back down. And when you're ready, roll over and come up to sitting. And namaste you. So if you're staying for Shavasana, find your symmetry. And we sort of look symmetrical, humans, but we're not built exactly like that. So sometimes we get a little off kilter. You're just finding your symmetry, your center, your evenness. Letting the legs roll out with no more work to do. Arms roll up. Feel the support for the body. The flow of your breath. Become aware of the sensation in your toes and your feet. If there is tension, let it pass. And now your ankles and your lower leg. Your knees and your thighs. Your hips, your belly. Buttock and lower back. The sides of your waist. Back of your ribs. The sides of your ribs. Around your heart. All good. Armpit or arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, thumb, fingers. Now the back of your neck and your throat, the base of your skull, scalp, forehead, around your eyebrows, in them, around your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, your lips and tongue and jaw. Ears, and holding now your whole body in the focus of your awareness. Breath by breath, feel again the sensation of being supported. The sensation of your breath. Start to move little movements, hands and fingers, feet and toes, arms and legs. Feeling the mobile nature of your body, even though you've been still. Hugging in your arms and legs now so you can roll to your side. And when you're ready, coming up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.